Hey guys, and welcome to our review of the Crash Bandicoot Nsane Trilogy for the PS4. I've been playing this for the past couple of weeks. You've probably seen a few of the gameplay videos up on the channel. If you haven't, check them out. I've just been doing like generic playthroughs, but it was about time we did our review. As it's been a while since I've done a review. So basically this is Crash Bandicoot 1, 2 and 3 that originally came out on the PS1, remastered and remade for the PlayStation 4. We've also heard that it's coming out for Xbox One later in the year for Christmas, for a few leaked listings on some online stores. It is made this time not by Naughty Dog but by Vicarious Visions. I know everyone else has a big sigh of, oh, why not Naughty Dog, but I can honestly say they've done a fantastic job. If you've ever played the old Crash Bandicoot games on the PS1, you'll instantly remember playing this. It just brings back all those memories. When I first put it in, you just suddenly remember everything, and it's identical. All the cutscenes are the same, all the levels are the same. There are some slight tweaks they've made and some slight changes, but the generic overall gameplay and levels are identical, just looking a lot prettier. So yeah, it was £35, but you get 3 full games, which is a really good value, especially since the Crash Bandicoot games, especially 2 and 3, were some of the best platform games on the PS1 era, bar Spyro in my opinion. But I love Crash 3, so it's by far one of my favourite PS1 games was Crash 3, so getting back into it was fantastic. It's not got all the original voice actors. It's got some of the newer ones that have replaced them in the PS2 era onwards, but a lot of it's and like the music's been remastered or is slightly changed. But I mean, it's unless you're a super die-hard mega fan, you'll not notice it. I haven't as such. I mean, I used to play it as a lot as a kid, but I can't say I've noticed the big differences. But yeah, what can I say about it? I mean, Crash 1 is a big improvement over the original Crash 1. It's still hard, but they've took some of the better things like the jumping and some of the other mechanics from like Crash 2 and 3 and then sort of made it across all 3 of the games. So Crash 1, the control system is so much better than it used to be, because I never could get on with Crash 1. It's still the least favourite of mine, and it's exactly the same on this, but it's a lot better. And like little things like when you went on the bonus level and you were supposed, the whole point of the game was you were trying to save your girlfriend and she was just stood there doing nothing. Well, now she gets kidnapped at the end of every bonus level, so it's just little tweaks like that make the game so much better. Like I say, from the video I can say this is Crash 3, because that's where I've spent a lot more of my time playing than the other 2 games. The graphics, now they've all got the same graphical style, they've all got the same sort of, they all look the same, they've got the same aesthetics, whereas obviously Crash 1 looked not as good as Crash 2, etc. Gameplay wise, overall 3 they're pretty good. Crash 2 is pretty much the same. It looks great. A few slight tweaks to the controls and movement have made it much, it just feels smoother. Same with Crash 3. I mean, Crash 3 is just as I remember it. It feels like the motorcycle levels have gotten easier though. I'm not complaining, but it does feel slightly easier. The biggest bugbear I've got is it's a lot harder. I mean, you've probably seen online everyone's like comparing it to Dark Souls. I mean, it's not that hard, but when you go back to something, it's like getting on a bike and you're like, oh, I can do that. Now you'll go to do something thinking, I know how to do this, and the hitboxes sort of the sort of landing where you have to land and how quick the jumps fall and stuff like that has been slightly altered, which makes everything that much harder than it used to be. I mean, once you get used to it though, you'll not notice it, but originally when you first play, that's the biggest sort of bugbear I could find. Barring that, I mean, for £35 for 3 full games that are some of the best platformers ever made, I would definitely recommend this. If you've never played Crash Bandicoot before, this is the definitive version. I mean, I've seen some people online saying they're not, but in my opinion, from a semi, I did play this quite a lot. Like I was a semi hardcore fan of like from Crash 2 and 3 onwards. I honestly think they're the better versions. Like the jetpack things in Crash 2 are also better. It's just little things. I mean, it's a shame Naughty Dog haven't done it, but the company that have done it have done a really fantastic job. So I can't recommend it enough. And also they've added the Lost Levels as free DLC. I don't know if it's for a limited time like I've heard, but you get at the level that they were on the disc, the original disc of Crash 1, but it was just so hard they deemed it not worth putting out in the disc, so they just left it hidden. But now they're actually releasing it as a proper free DLC, mainly because people like Dark Souls and stuff. That's literally the response they've given us, is because people like harder games now. So maybe one day we'll get even more extra levels. I'd love to see more. I'd love to see sort of like prototype levels be finished off into things to add more, because it's such a good collection and it plays well, it looks fantastic. There's so much playability. They've added Coco into Crash 1 more, so you can play as her, and Crash 2, so you can play as them in the you can play as her, as she used to be able to do it in Crash 3, but you can now do it in certain levels in Crash 1 and 2. The only bugbear, this is on Coco, is the water ski levels. I don't know what they have done. They used to be so responsive, and now it's like driving a bus in some water on ice. So when you're trying to stop and not hit a bomb, you've got no chance. That's the worst thing about the remake. It's the only thing that spoils it in a way, because it makes those levels really unbearable. Other than that, it's such a fantastic collection. I cannot recommend it enough. So for that, we're going to give it a mighty 9 out of 10, which I don't give out lightly. So yeah, make sure you check it out for definite. And if you haven't got a PS4, don't worry. Like I say, it should be out for Xbox One by Christmas time. So thank you for checking out our video. I apologise it's been so long since we've done any like reviews and stuff, just life takes over. I am going to be working on a few others. I've been playing Micro Machines World Series, so there'll be a review of that up soon, as well as the Friday the 13th game, and I've got a couple of others. I've got some VR games that I've recorded, I've just not got round to uploading yet, so make sure you check out the channel, give us a like and a subscribe, and hopefully we'll have some more content for you soon. See you later.